We have to fulfill our core beliefs and values. We have 5 of them. Number 1 is that we will be the best in the world in anything that we do. So that means that we would not start any project if we don't see a clear way how we are going to be the best in the world with this product. Or if we are involved in a product where we are not the best, we will put all the resources to make it the best, or we'll decide to get out. But we would not have a product that is just somewhere in between. Okay? We'll show respect to everybody that we are involved with. It will start with our suppliers, our customers, our employees, our shareholders, and our competitors. Okay, so we'll show total respect to everybody. You would not find any Creo salesperson bad-mouthing a competitor. Full integrity in everything that we do or say. And that, of course, again, start with a hiring process. If we interview a person that through the interview process or through the checking of the references, we find that this person showed some inclinations to be political or slightly dishonest or whatever, doesn't matter what are the other qualities of this person would not be hired into Creo. Or if we have a person that we hired and will show these tendencies as well, this person would not stay in Creo. Free communication and self-management. We believe that people are most effective when they are self-managed. But everybody says it. This is a slogan of the 90s, right? People are most effective when self-managed. So the question is, how do you actually make people self-managed? Because you see, if you have, most companies are very proud of the fact that they have strong management, right? But if you have strong management, how do you expect people to be self-managed? Because strong management and self-managed for everybody else, it doesn't work together, right? So you have to find a way, how can you still have strong management and still people will be self-managed? And we thought about it and we decided the only way to do it is instead of having strong management, you should have strong leaders. Leaders that don't have any authority, lead only by their capabilities. Okay? So how do you make leaders without any authority? So how do you take the authority away? If you look at where management get their authority, they have basically two ways of doing it. One, they tell you what to do. If you don't do it, you are fired, right? So that's a lot of power. Number 2, even if you do everything that they tell you, by the end of the year, they determine your salary. So if you're not nice to them, you will not be promoted or you will not get any increase in compensation. So if you want to take power away from management, what you have to do is, first of all, to take their ability to tell anybody what to do. And we did it by deciding that all decisions in Creo will be made in small teams, and any such decision will be made in consensus, which means that everybody that participates in the meeting has the veto power over any decision. Okay? So I can be in a meeting in which some, let's say, engineer that in the hierarchy, if you look at where this person is in the hierarchy, he might be 5 levels below me. If this engineer says, I don't agree almost with what you say, I don't think you have the right facts, and I don't go with it, that's the end of the meeting. Okay, no decision will be made until I will come with new facts. We'll call another meeting and say, here, you didn't believe those facts, those are the facts. Do you support it now? If I said, no, I don't support it, then say, okay, what else do we need to do? Or you say, okay, we don't make the decision, something is wrong. Because if a rational person does not believe with what we are saying, something is wrong with what we are saying. Okay? Because the fact that there's no evidence that the management is smarter than anybody else. Maybe it's vice versa. Okay? So the fact that me or anybody else in high level in Creo believes that a certain thing should be done does not mean that it should be done. We might be totally wrong. Actually, if you look at my stock selection lately, you'll see that I'm very wrong in many of my things. So clearly management can be as wrong as anybody else. So this consensus method is working fantastically well in Creo, and nobody will ever violate it. So that's one. Number 2 is, instead of management reviewing the performance of employees, we have what we call peer review, in which every employee in Creo will be reviewed by about 10 to 15 different employees. Some of them will be people that report to that person. Some of them will be people on the same level. some will be management. Okay? So every person is surrounded, and the direct manager is only one out of the 15 that will evaluate the person performance. So that does few things. First of all, it eliminates all politics. Because you can be very political to your manager, but who cares? Your manager is what, 7% of your review? Okay, you'll be slaughtered by 93%, and you'll get very good grade with one. So that's definitely not a good idea. And also, in many cases, management does not know exactly what the person does. But the people that work with that person knows very well what the person is doing. Okay, so the peer review is by far more accurate than management review. Okay, so that's what we do. By doing it, we eliminated almost all power away from management. Now, if you want to be a manager in Creo, you have to be a leader. You have to provide some value. You have to know what you are saying. You must have the ability to lead the people behind you, because if you cannot lead people, people would not follow. You will be in a movie in which the commander is saying, everybody runs after me, and he's the only one that is running forward. All the people are staying in the trenches. Okay, so. Okay, so once people are self-managed, now you have to make sure that they know how to make decisions. Okay, so what makes a person knowledgeable in making decisions? First of all, you must have the basic tools or basic training on how to make decisions. You have to know economic thinking, you have to know business strategy, you have to know accounting, finance, you have to be knowledgeable in all the tools that management are using. Okay, that's one. So we have courses here in Creo. We have Open University in which we teach people on a weekly basis all those things. And we are beginning January next year, we are going to open an executive program in Creo that will take about 3 weeks, in which every team leader that wants to go through such a program will go for 3 weeks and will be trained on everything that people are being taught in executive programs in MBA schools. Okay? And most of the courses will be provided by people inside Creo. So people know exactly how Creo works and why things should be done in a certain way. Another thing is you have to give the people access to the information that management has. Because if you know how to make decisions but you don't have the right information, you'll never make the right decisions. Okay, so we're investing about $4 million per year into our information technology systems. And basically the idea is to eliminate all references to time or distance. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world, at what time, you have the same access to the information that I have at my desk. Okay, so through the internet tools, everybody can access anything that they want, every database within Creo, within seconds. Okay, if you are a service engineer in the field, through the internet you get into the database. You can get on every part of the system. You can get to the lowest level down to the screw of every system, get the part number, get everything all on your computer without carrying any books with you when you go to fix any system. Okay, quite amazing system, but it takes enormous amount of commitment and enormous amount of investment to get to it. Okay, so once all the people are trained how to make decisions, they have all the information tools, then they can make very viable decisions. Actually, it's quite interesting in our discussion with Heidelberg. Our information systems are so fast and so accurate that if I speak with somebody in Germany, I can tell him what somebody else in Germany said before he knows it. Which is quite funny. But if somebody in Creo has somebody in Heidelberg saying something, immediately he will put it on a voicemail or email. And I'll speak with somebody in Heidelberg and say, do you know that such and such happened in your area? Okay, fun, exciting, and challenging work. And confidence in leadership at all levels. Of course, this is the most important because since we don't have any authority to management, you must have the confidence in the leadership. And how we're going to measure all of it? Externally, we'll have a survey of our customers, partners, and suppliers. We do it in a relatively frequent way. And internally, we'll have an employee survey. We do it about once a year or once every 2 years. We don't relate to the survey unless we get to 60% participation. So we keep nagging all the employees like, okay, 49% are now answered, 50, 51, 52, and we force people to, not force, but we encourage people to answer until we get to over 60. So last survey, it took us about, 3 weeks until we got to 61.5%, and then we stopped. When asked, at least 80% of Creoites rate Creo as an excellent place to work. Actually, in the last survey, we got 98% of all employees were very proud and happy to be Creo employees. Okay, 98%. And the only bad part about this number is that you can't get much better. So next survey, the only way to go is down. And voluntarily full-time attrition rate of less than 5%. Right now, we are at about 3%. Which means that the lifetime of an employee in Creo is about 33 years.